Nuclear energy is when the center of two atoms, called the nucleus, of two or more atoms bond together and create many reactions, in which cause bigger explosions the more atoms available for bonding.
Nuclear energy was discovered and made famous by Enrico Fermi, Otto Hahn, and Fritz Strassmann. Enrico discovered when uranium is bombarded by neutrons, it produces byproducts that aren't uranium and are lighter than the original sample.
Otto Hahn was actually known as the father of nuclear chemistry. He was a German pioneer in the field of radioactivity and radiochemistry.
Fritz Strassmann identified barium in the residue after bombarding uranium with neutrons in 1939.
Most say that nuclear energy is dangerous in regards to nuclear weapons and waste. It is like the difference between T'Challa and Killmonger. T'Challa wanted to use vibranium in a positive way and to keep it home for the betterment of his own community, unlike Killmonger, who wanted to use it to destroy it.
My name is Jose Genty. I'll be talking about nuclear power and its efficiency. First and foremost, nuclear power is the best power source due that it averages a capacity factor of 91%. Natural gas is produced an average of 50%, while coal is 59 and wind 32 efficiency, making nuclear power the best source overall.
Hi, I'm Ramir Johnson, and I'm going to talk to y'all about the benefits of the cost of nuclear energy. So the idea that nuclear energy is expensive comes from the fact that it's actually expensive to build a nuclear power plant. But in the long run, it's actually cheaper because it's cheaper to keep up with a nuclear power plant than it is to use fossil fuels. One way that we can make nuclear power plants cheaper is by investing in them more. This means that there's no industrial supply of companies with the enterprise to manufacture their technology, which means that it's reducing the competition and it limits the advantages that companies would obtain if they actually invested in nuclear power plants.
Hello, my name is Joshua Holloway, and to add on to the point that Ramir made about the advantages of cost for nuclear energy, nuclear power is cost competitive when compared to other forms of fuels. Startup cost for nuclear production is higher. Higher startup cost means that the cost for maintaining the production is lower, so there would be more value coming from the use of nuclear energy. And to add on to that, nuclear waste is included in the startup costs. This means that there are no unexpected production costs in the final price.
Reliability of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is considered to be America's workhorse in that it provides the bulk of the energy for our country. Nuclear energy is so reliable that according to energy.gov, it has roughly supplied a fifth of America's power each year since 1990. Nuclear power plants are producing maximum power more than 92% of the time during the year. That's almost twice as reliable as coal or natural gas units and 3 to 4 times more reliable than wind and solar plants. Why is nuclear energy so reliable, you may ask? It requires way less maintenance than other power sources and is designed to operate for longer stretches before refueling. Nuclear energy takes minimal time and gives maximum effort, making it the most reliable of all the energy sources.
One of the reasons that nuclear energy is more proficient than fossil fuels is because they have excessive electricity density as compared to fossil fuels. The quantity of the fuel required with the aid of the nuclear power plant is comparatively much less than what is required by the means of the electricity plant life. As power released by the way of nuclear fission is approximately 10 million times greater than the quantity of the electricity launched with the aid of the fossil gasoline atom.
Nuclear power greatest benefit above any other benefit that we may also explore is that it doesn't count on fossil fuel and is influenced by fluctuating oil and gas costs. Coal and natural gas electricity flies discharge carbon dioxide into the air, which cause a number of environmental issues. With the nuclear energy plants, carbon emissions are insignificant.
My name is Jose Genty. I'll be talking about nuclear power and its efficiency. First and foremost, nuclear power is the best power source due that it averages a capacity factor of 91%. Natural gas is produced an average of 50%, while coal is 59 and wind 32 efficiency, making nuclear power the best source overall.
Every year, nuclear generated electricity saves our atmosphere from more than 555 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions that would otherwise come from fossil fuels. That's the same as taking 117 million passenger vehicles off the road. Rapid development of nuclear power can be regarded as a means of combating global warming. Every year, nuclear stations reduce CO2 emissions by 700 million tons in Europe.
Russia's nuclear stations prevent nearly 210 million tons of carbon dioxide from being emitted in the world's atmosphere every year, making Russia the world's fourth country in terms of CO2 prevention. Closing nuclear plants hurts the environment. Nuclear energy provides 97% of New Jersey's clean energy. If New Jersey were to lose its nuclear energy, its clean energy shortfall would be equal to the power used by 2.2 million homes, more than 56% of the homes in the state.